Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Tales from the Tailgate, my series of videos where I basically film something on the tailgate of my truck. Anyway, if you watched my last YouTube short, it was kind of a spoof on panic buying in the Northeast whenever there's a snowstorm. If you live in the Northeast or northern part of the country in general, anytime there's a snowstorm, everybody panic buys. They rush out to the store and they buy up the milk and the bread, right? I kind of made a joke about that on my short, and this was the pack that I used in that video. It's my medium Alice pack, good old USGI surplus. And honestly, I don't remember if this was the pack that I tactically acquired when I was still in the military, or if this pack was something I picked up used. I also have a large. So one of them, I don't remember if it was the large or the medium. I think I bought for dirt cheap. It had to be like $20 or something. If you go on like Facebook Marketplace or something like that, you're still going to be able to find them pretty cheap, sometimes in garage sales and things. They are creeping up in price. If you go on eBay, you'll see what I mean. The packs that are relatively new old stock, you're going to see have gone up considerably in price. So the days of the, $15 Alice pack are probably behind us. And especially, it's getting a little harder to find the new old stock stuff, which is what I like to buy, because I figure I'm going to put some use into it. So I'd like to be the one that puts the scuffs and the holes in it. This pack, now I don't know if you call this pack a Hellcat mod or not. As you can probably see from down here, that this pack is not on your typical USGI frame, the aluminum frame that's so common with these packs. Instead, I have it on the 1606 or the 1606 MC frame, and there is a frame earlier than that, I think it's this 1606 AC, which on those frames you had slots here in between here. Instead of being solid, there were slots or holes, and they were finding that those were cracking. They just weren't rugged enough, so they came out with this frame a little while later. The reason I say I don't know if this is a Hellcat, what they call a Hellcat mod or not. I know a lot of people have taken the Alice pack, and with the same frame, with the same Alice pack frame, they've went ahead and attached the MOLLE II shoulder straps and kidney pad on. And in this case, I used the 1606 MC frame. So I don't know, I call it a Hellcat mod. If you know what the true definition of a Hellcat mod is, feel free to leave that down in the comments. But either way, it's not a bad frame, I think, for this pack. I believe it's just a little less than 2 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. I feel that it accepts the MOLLE II shoulder straps or the shoulder harness. I feel that it accepts it a little better than the Alice pack frame, the actual metal frame. It's also pretty easy to attach the MOLLE II kidney pad belt. What I use this for is actually winter in the Northeast this winter has been particularly cold and a little snowier than we've had in recent years. What I've done is I've taken to using the treadmill a lot more to kind of stay in shape. I I last did a marathon about a little over a year ago, and I've really fallen off the bandwagon. And so this winter, one of my goals was to kind of get back into shape. And yes, I know round is a shape, but I meant a better shape. The roads in my area are particularly ill-suited for running and rucking in the winter, mainly, well, any time of year really, because they're very curvy, very hilly, which is good for variation when you're working out, but not so good when there's oncoming traffic. So with the snow and everything, there's really no shoulder, and you almost have to be in the roadway, or at least on the pavement. So I'm not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of getting run over. I kind of inadvertently created this Hellcat mod because I had the frame already, and I planned on using it with that other pack I showed you in an earlier video, the Plat Attack. I think it's the LRR Jungle Alice. I was planning on using this with that and just using Tactical Tailor shoulder straps and the Tactical Tailor waist pad. But if you have tried to put a Tactical Tailor waist pad onto one of these 1606 frames, it doesn't work so good. The MOLLE II pads actually work pretty good. So that's where I was at. So what I was kind of getting at is, now that I've kind of had a resort to using a treadmill, treadmills don't really, in my opinion, replicate running outdoors. And so I wanted to add a little variation to my workout. So I figured I'd add a little rucking into it. And this Alice is kind of good. You know, you throw some weight in there, some water canteens and some water bottles, or, you know, anything you have that you can put a little weight into these packs, works pretty good. And, you know, you can do a little rucking on the treadmill. And I know you can, with my treadmill, you can, you know, set an incline and what have you. But this gives you a little extra in that workout. You got the weight on your back. And I don't go too high. But generally between 20, 30 pounds is fine. But that's what I was creating. So I was like, it didn't, the Tactical Tailor didn't really work with the waist pad situation. So I went and I dug out this MOLLE II. Now this is the MOLLE II in woodland. So that's what I ended up doing. I dug this out from an old woodland MOLLE II pack I have, which I believe are some of the first iterations of the MOLLE II. I dug that out and attached it, and I was like, wow, this actually works pretty darn good. Now, I am told, and I have not confirmed this because I have not tried out the other MOLLE II straps that I own, both the ones in UCP and the ones in OCP or multicam or whatever it's called. I am told that the straps on those are spaced a little differently than the straps on the early woodland here. So with the early woodland here, I'm told the woodland works a little better because of the way the distancing on the straps works, and it goes through this little piece here and up here. So, and I believe the other the newer straps won't go through this. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just what I heard. Like I said, I haven't tried it yet. I don't know if you can quite see it, but I got some strings here. Some of the piece of the strap there is, if you can see it, it's kind of pulling out. So I would like to repair this before I put it back on my MOLLE II. So I don't know if I'm going to keep the MOLLE II one or not, but I hate getting rid of packs because later on I'll go, oh, I wish I still had that, you know. The price of surplus is kind of getting ridiculous. It really is. Some of this stuff used to go for dirt cheap. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I bought over the years or tactically acquired has gone up significantly. You can still find some deals on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, you know, just local people looking to make a quick buck, but that's that. So my plan for this is to put this back on the Woodland MOLLE II pack. I have one with the main pack and the whole sleep system carrier. So I kind of want to keep it as a complete set. So if I do keep it, you know, it'll be nice. Or if I decide to sell it, it would probably be more beneficial if I could sell it as a complete kit. So I'm going to take that off. And I picked up from Gear Rack online, I picked up the filbe shoulder harness here, shoulder straps. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put those on here. Now, if you go online, you're going to find that it is pretty darn hard to find those filbe shoulder harnesses, shoulder straps that are in decent condition. They're almost all blown out on the padding areas, or you know, there's always pretty significant damage to these things. I did see Gear Rack had now these were sold as new, basically. So I haven't opened it yet, and I'm going to find out if it's new. But from looking through the plastic here, it looks new. This is not. I don't believe this is original plastic. So that would be good. So I bought it, you know, like new or like new condition. But the other problem you're going to find when you pick up these filbe shoulder harness straps is that they almost never, not only are they damaged, but they almost never include the lowers. Now, if you're familiar with any of the military harness systems, you got the upper strap here, which has got the padding, then you always had the lower strap, which attaches to the frame. And that's because they quick disconnect here. I'm not going to go ahead and show you. I'm not going to bother because when you're looking through this camera, it's like right up in my face. So it's kind of hard to manipulate things. But this whole, the pack will just basically come loose or, you know, fall off. Yeah. So for some reason, the filbe straps that you find like on eBay or Marketplace, they never include this lower half. I don't know if the Marine Corps, when they surplus out this crap, whether they cut them off or something. I have no idea. I don't know what the actual reason is that you can never find the darn lowers. But there's a company called OV Innovations. I'm trying to remember where they were based out of. But anyway, they sell replacement straps that are new. They're not surplus. They're not military, I don't believe. I believe they make these themselves, maybe, or have somebody make. I don't know. I found them online. I'll show you that right here. You got the two lowers. I haven't even tried these yet, so I don't know. But now, obviously, these aren't MOLLE. These are for the filbe. They sound like they're metal. I tested them with a magnet, so they're not steel. So I'm assuming they're aluminum. They look just like. Oh, actually, here's the tag. If you wanted to see that. think that's OV Innovations, and they're made here in the U.S. So they look just like the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to take these off and put the filbe ones on here. Now, if you're not really familiar with surplus, if this is maybe your first foray into the surplus market or whatever. So these frames are built for the filbe pack, the FILBE packs. They're basically the new Alice pack frame, because these frames, the 1606 MCs, will also fit Alice packs, obviously, because you see I've got that on there. You know, the filbe, the Marine Corps just basically created an updated Alice pack is what they did. Updated large Alice pack. Yeah, so, but most of you probably have already seen a Alice pack. I'll go ahead and show it to you before I strip it down. But here's the Alice pack, and you can see I've kept this all original. I know a lot of the people do like the Malice mods where they take off these metal buckles and put on Fastech buckles and modernize it, because if you've never used these, they are painfully slow to open your pack. Personally, I really don't care. I probably used this pack for about, I don't know, 10 years as one of the packs that I would bring to hunting camp. Now, I didn't hunt with it. I would just throw all my gear that I was going to take for that weekend up to hunting camp, and I'd put it in this pack. So it wasn't like a necessity to get to anything real quick. So I didn't bother. As you can see, the waterproofing is breaking down on this one. Now, on this one, the waterproofing is breaking down, but on my large, actually, the waterproofing is actually in really good condition. So I'm going to go ahead and put those straps on now. I just also wanted to say, before I strip this frame down, that there are two ways to put these waist pads on. I think this is technically the correct way, in the smile configuration. A lot of people flip this upside down and have it in a frown configuration. It all depends on your body type. So there's really no wrong way to do it, I guess you could say. Whatever way works for you and is comfortable, because I've heard that some people just their body type, this can irritate their back or whatever, and that this flipped upside down will provide more coverage. Now, I haven't had any problem as of yet. I'm gonna go ahead and strip this frame down and put on the filbe stuff, and hope to see you in the next video.